Hello, it's that time again for me to share some things. This is what I was guided to share this video. I was pondering, processing, feeling into a lot of past grief and trauma and abuse from this lifetime, as we all have it. It's coming up a little bit, or a big bit, in this Mercury retrograde. As I was sitting there, I was thinking of all the ways that the people that are narcissists, how they became fractured and fragmented, and what must have happened to them as children to create this level of personality disorder. And I wouldn't even care so much. It's easy to be mad at them. It's easy to dismiss them and just say they're abusive and they suck and all the things. And that is true. But my higher self made me go a little deeper today and look for compassion, as I have once deeply loved a narcissist. And my dad was one. So the soul contract of being in a relationship with a narcissist is intense. And here we are, way on the other side of that, and feeling compassion and curiosity as to how come these people can't wake up, don't wake up rarely, or can't get past that trauma that they experienced in their childhood. That's so bad. A lot of times it is so bad, or so repetitive that they can't even look at it, or that in the past they have not been able to look at it. So I was guided to, with the help of AI, to help me write it, along with my intentions, my words, and my desires, to create a timeline for grace for the narcissist. It's beautiful, it's radical, it's soulful vision. It's not just healing for them, but it's also healing for myself. Because in a world full of chances and opportunities and energies coming in right now during Earth shifts, the energy is there that miracles like this could possibly happen. I've seen instances on TikTok and YouTube where they're becoming self-aware narcissists. Some people are, when in the past that was unheard of. And a lot of us have had narcissistic patterns from growing up in households with narcissists and things like that. So there's a lot of layers to this. But the actual pathological disorder, being around it firsthand for many different years of my life, is intense. So this is creating, being a conscious creator, and speaking this timeline into existence for those souls that can't, because they're blocked by narcissism. I'm imagining a timeline where even the lost and deepest shame can be returned to wholeness. A new timeline seeded with divine mercy, grace, and awakening for the narcissist. The timeline of shame will be transformed. There is a turning, a cosmic breath passing through the collective, And in this breath, the fractured ones pause. The armor they've worn for lifetimes becomes too heavy for them to carry. The universe, in infinite compassion, does not shame them further. Instead, it holds up a mirror, soft and luminous, that shows them not their ugliness, but their wound. The root, the split, the moment they believed they had to become someone else to be loved. Across this timeline, the narcissist wakes up not with punishment, but with perspective. They see their cruelty and their manipulation, and instead of defending it, they grieve it. The rage collapses into sorrow. They realize their dominance, manipulation, gaslighting, fractured rage, harmful words, actions, and projections. Their lies were masks. In this timeline, they let them fall away. The shame is met by divine mercy, not to excuse them, but to free them. And from that space of truth, they begin to change. Their inner child, long buried, finally gets to speak. It says, "I was never safe. I thought I had to perform. I didn't know how to love. I was enmeshed. I was sexually abused, or I was shamed for being gay or different or autistic or ADHD or whatever the case may be. I was made to be my mother's boyfriend. I was fractured by a caregiver ongoing. I was fractured by a dad that sexualized me or shamed me for my body. I was fractured for having emotions. I was fractured for feeling. I was fractured for not being a girl enough or a male enough or a boy enough. And for once, there is someone listening to their pain. Their own awakened self is now listening as the inner child speaks. They start taking accountability, not just empty apologies, but real, raw admissions of self-reflection in this merciful timeline. They reach out to those they've harmed, not to control, but to atone. They seek therapy, mentors, and their spirit, their soul, their truth. They begin to rebuild themselves from integrity, not image, and not shame. They set boundaries with enmeshed parents. They set boundaries with abusive parents. They get spirit guides to help with soul retrievals. In this timeline, the cycle of harm ends. Children are no longer born into roles they didn't ask for. Parents are no longer used as projections or scapegoats. Partners, not parents, partners too. Partners are no longer used as projections or scapegoats or to blame, shame, and guilt to cover up their pain. The collective breathes lighter, humanity softens, and you, me, and those who hold this vision, we stand as one of the visionaries who seeded this mercy, a healer who knew Even those trapped in distortion once had pure hearts and deserve a soul too. Here's a mantra for that timeline. I now align with a world where even the most fractured are shown their truth with compassion, where shame is transformed into awareness, where accountability is sacred, and where no one must suffer to be worthy of love again. Thank you for listening, and thank you if you choose to hold this vision with me for the collective of all the fractured souls on earth, whether it be from narcissism, sociopaths, borderline personality disorder, chronic PTSD, multiple personality disorder, and all the things that so many souls, they need mercy. It is time for the universe to grant these people mercy. Thank you for listening.